Hello, and welcome to September. September is still summertime, and I love September so much. But it does go into autumn. Since I haven't had any required book reading for about a month now, since I finished all my summer reading, I thought I should do a September through November reading, and I wanted to have themes for this, and I thought that would be really fun, and it's gonna be a little bit crazier than the goals that I've set in the past. A goal like this might be someone's yearly goal, and here I am like pushing myself. So I plan to read 42 books between September through November. It's crazy to think about that. Maybe I'll even read more than that. And I think I could do it. Specifically, the number 42 is because I will be turning 42, November 3rd to be exact. So I thought this would be a great time to do books that I really want to read, books I've wanted to read, books that have themes that are autumn, but also to have a little bit of that cozy mystery vibe and to have lots of nature. But first, I am doing an autumn bingo. I don't know if she says Chantel or Chantel, but I think like the French would say it Chantel, and she's Canadian, so I'm gonna say Chantel and hope that I'm saying her name right. But anyway, I love her channel. And she did this autumn bingo with just 9 places. I'll bring up this bingo as I complete that. I'll tell you about what these books are about as I read them. So that way you get that in the review and you don't hear it being repetitive and going, oh, this book again. I remember her talking about it. Well, I'll skip this. So I just want to show you the books that I plan to read, and hopefully we'll read all of them. Cheer me on. Ooh. Some of these books I have, some of these books I've been wanting to read, and I have had them on my list of what I want to read this year, and I haven't gotten to them. But some of these suit the theme better for this time of year. So let's go. Half a Soul, Hearts in Circulation, which I have on pre-order. The Woman in the Library, Rebecca, You'll Be the Death of Me, which I almost decided not to read, but it's been on my to-read list for a long time, and I read almost all of her books. I DNF'd one this year though, but I've read all of her books, but this one, other than the one I DNF'd. Tell Me Everything, Test of the D'Urberville, 10 Mile, which I have on my Nook, and I'm about to start reading. Remaking the World. I have to explain something really quickly. I used to go on a lot of field trips here in New Jersey. We have a lot of historical things because we were the third official state. These trips had a lot of historical places that we would go to. During this time of year, these field trips, it just reminds me so much of that period. So that's why this is on the list. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Wormwood Abbey. The Way Home. Tales from a Life Without Technology. Tempest at Annabelle's Lighthouse. Mountain Laurel. Adorning the Dark. The Bake Shop. That's another theme. I do a little more baking, a lot of soup cooking, and so for this time of year I needed to have something that made me want to eat some yummy hearty food that was warm, but also because I love Thanksgiving and celebrating being thankful for what we have. So I had to have some books that have to do about food. Autumn by the Sea. This is God's Table. Strange Sally Diamond. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murders. The Amber Glow Candy Store. This one is 1, 2, 3. This isn't even the whole series. It's just the start of this series, but because 2 of these looked very autumny to me, I had to make sure I read the first 3 at least. There are a couple that are wintry looking, so that will be for the next time. Desire of My Heart, With All My Heart, and Matters of the Heart. Lots of heart in these books. Homecoming, The Ghost Cat, Before We Were Us. Look at this pretty scenery. Braiding Sweetgrass, which I was told a couple years ago to read by an indigenous man from Turtle Island, or as you might know it, Canada. So this is for him. The Man Who Died 7 Times, which I have. The Nature Fix. The Woodlanders. The Mockingbird Court, which I have on pre-order. This is part of the Shady Hollow series, which I've read all of. As I record this video, I am reading one of the novellas, so then I'll be all caught up. Murder and Postscript. Buried in Friendship. The Year of Miss Agnes, which I have coming from a used bookstore that I ordered. That will be here any day. The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. Listening for Lions. Speaker for the Dead, because there is Sci-Fi September, and this is a sci-fi book. This is a second book from the Ender Games series. So I read the first book a few years back, several years back, and The Speaker of the Dead is one of my husband's all-time favorite books ever. So he was like, read it. So I'm reading it for him. Murder at Gull's Nest. The Demon in the Light, which I have on pre-order. This is the second book. I read the first book around March, April. Maybe it was a little later, but it was The Floating World. This one I hope will be good. The Souls of Lost Lake. The Secret of the Old Clock, book club that I'm a part of this month. This is what we're to read, but I've always wanted to read Nancy Drew. I had started it because my mom used to have a few of the books when I was growing up, and I've always loved Nancy Drew. I've seen every single movie that have ever existed from the 30s to current. I've seen shows, you know, I just love Nancy Drew stuff. I've even played video games of Nancy Drew. Thank you so much today for being here with me. I hope that if you've read these books, you could tell me if they're good or if you're like, oh no, that was garbage. And if maybe you're like, ooh, that looks pretty, I want to read it too. Maybe you could read it with me and we can exchange notes. And I hope I do well with this autumn bingo as well. So yeah. With that, I hope you have a wonderful September and wonderful October and November, because I'm going to go through these books the best I can. I'm up for the challenge and I think I can do it. Do you think I could do it? All right, bye.